So I initially planned on this video kind of dissecting the showcasing of the Switch 2 or the Direct or whatever it is they call it, but then I rewrote my entire script because I'm seeing some YouTubers and people on Twitter glazing the Switch 2. So I need to put my 2 cents in, put my foot down, and this is going to be kind of a rant because I need to do this now, because if I don't, I'm going to keep on adding and revising the script. You guys are going to think that I'm a massive hater on Nintendo, which normally isn't the case. I practically own all of the Nintendo consoles and handhelds besides like the Super Nintendo and the OG Game Boy. I love Nintendo, alright, but the Switch 2 I just cannot support. First of all, let's talk about the console itself. The magnetic Joy-Cons I'm kind of indifferent about. I don't really know why people are making such a big deal about it. It's just a different way to put the fucking controls on the screen. Relax everyone, it's nothing to orgasm about. The bigger joysticks, like, okay, cool, I guess. I don't really know about that. The screen being bigger, yeah, they kind of already did that with the OLED, so it's not a big shocker there. Using the Joy-Cons as a mouse, however, I thought was kind of interesting. However, at what point during your playthroughs of Mario games, Mario Kart, Pokemon, Smash, all that shit, did you think, golly, I really wish I could use these Joy-Cons as a mouse? Probably never. So the games that can use that function, I probably won't get anyways. And then the webcam attachment, which I'm sure they're not even going to include a webcam, so you got to pay for that separately as well, to show your face and to be in games like, hello, we already had a similar concept with the PS Move and the Kinect, so they both called and they want their ideas back. There's a reason why it left way back in the early 2010s. The mic that filters out the background noise, I think that's pretty cool though, I do like that. And apparently you could screen share, but when they showed it, I swear to God, it looks so choppy that I will never use it. It's like trying to watch a 4K stream on dial-up, man, it is terrible. The parental controls, cool, I don't have a kid, but I understand why they're there, so no complaints. Now, the part that I thought I was gonna get super excited about was the 4K 120 FPS, but for some reason it doesn't really make me all that excited. Solely because it's more of a, it's about time reaction. Like, thank God that Nintendo finally caught up with the Xbox and PS5. This should have been done years ago. I don't know why Nintendo fanboys are praising the Switch 2 for this when it's something that Xbox and PlayStation have been doing for years now. Seriously, Nintendo, congrats on finally getting with the times. Welcome to 2020, Jesus fucking Christ. But the funny thing is that when the PS6 and possibly the new Xbox come out in the near future, they're gonna leave the Switch 2 in the dust. So once again, Nintendo's gonna have to play catch up again, and then fanboys are gonna be like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. Like, no, you're playing catch up. And then I was watching Endymion, sorry if I butchered that, man, my bad. But I guess that the Switch in Japan is gonna be like 333 USD, but that is because it's region locked and can only play Japanese games. So the price tag for all the other Switches are gonna be about 450 USD, which means that they're charging us another $100 plus just so we could go into our settings and change our language to the language that we speak. Like, seriously, come on, man. It's like them releasing a US version for $120 cheaper and every other country charging the extra $120, just so every other country could change their setting to their language. I could go to my PS5 or Xbox right now and change my language for free, man. That's fucking ridiculous. Now that I said all of that, let's talk about the price tag, that $450, which honestly, I'm not too concerned about. I honestly, man, I just wanted another reason to bitch and complain. But the Xbox and the PS5 go for about $500, so you know, Switch 2 finally catching up with the resolution and FPS. It just kind of all makes sense, you know? So that price tag, I'm like, that was kind of expected. But what doesn't make sense is the price tag for the new games. And it's at this point where Nintendo fanboys can turn this video off, because if you haven't already, I'm about to rip into you guys. This is geared more towards the adults. I don't really want to hear the, oh, it's my childhood. It's my childhood too, bro. I grew up on Pokemon Red on my lime green Game Boy Color, all right? If you have kids, you know, whatever, okay, you know, do you. But you know, kid, having adults, I'm talking to you. So I guess bigger games, kind of like the Mario games, probably Smash, Pokemon, like all the big games, they're gonna go for $80 digitally and $90 physically. And that's where I draw the line, man. I am a physical copy kind of guy, and you cannot convince me that Mario Kart is worth $90. Plus remember, with digital games, Nintendo can pull the game at any time they want to. So you buy that digital copy for $80, and then Nintendo just wakes up in a bad mood, pulls the game, well, guess what? Boo-hoo for you. There's nothing you could do about it, and then you're out $80. And then I also watched Penguin's video, and I learned that I guess even if I buy the physical copy, it doesn't even have the fucking game on the cartridge. It basically gives you some type of key or something like that to access the digital download. So what the fuck is the point of charging another $10 if it's basically just an empty cartridge, where I still don't technically own my games? It's almost like Nintendo is whipping out their dicks, slapping us across the face, and people who glaze Nintendo and praise everything they do are like, oh yes, daddy, please slap me some more. Then they post about how great it is to be getting dick slapped. And I don't want to see people get dick slapped, you know, unless you're Angela White or Violet Myers or Autumn Falls or something, you know, whatever, it's besides the point. And for you people who don't play Nintendo, which honestly, it's kind of me, you know, I play my Xbox and my PS5 a lot more than my Switch, but Nintendo has always appealed to me with their exclusives, you know, like Pokemon and all that shit. It has a little place in my heart for that. But once again, besides the point. What do you guys think Sony and Microsoft are going to do once they see Nintendo selling games for $90 and it's actually selling? I already know they're gonna say, well, Nintendo's doing it too, so why shouldn't we? So now PS5 and Xbox games will be going up to the $80, $90 range. And that's not even including tax. So do we see how Nintendo is almost single-handedly going to fuck over all gamers now? And for what? Bro, I just recently played Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube, and then I also ran through Luigi's Mansions 2 and 3, and honestly, the GameCube graphics aren't even all that bad compared to the Switch. I know I might get cussed out for this, but I could pick up a GameCube game and it still looks just fine. I'm not looking at it like, damn, that's looking a little bit rough. Whereas if I pick up a PS2 game or an OG Xbox game, and it's gonna look a lot different. Point being is that it's not like Nintendo creates these awe-inspiring graphic games to justify the price increase. And I saw someone say, oh, I'm prepared, I've saved up for this. Bro, go touch grass. Invest in something or go gamble. Shit, man, it'd be better than putting your money into Nintendo, who just showed that they do not care about their consumers. And it sucks, because like I said, I love me some Nintendo games. I've actually been trying to buy some more Switch games recently to expand my collection. But guys, I gotta pay $450 for the console just so I could, you know, play in fucking English, and then $80 to $90 per game, and that Nintendo could pull at any time. And that's just the base game. That's not including any future DLC that's more than likely gonna happen. And then $50, $60 for the online. But oh wait, if my current game has a Switch 2 upgrade, guess what? Gotta pay for that too. And then, oh wait, I am not done. One of the games that they showed was like this little Joy-Con game. I don't know, it's like a little tour of the Switch 2. And I thought, oh, cool, you know, we get something kind of like an Astro's Playroom where they show you the cool little whatever it is the Switch could do, you know? And just to remind you, Astro's Playroom is free on the PS5. But guess what? Not for the Switch. That's right, this tour game that like literally just shows you what the Switch can do, you gotta also pay for. And then I guess they're making some type of app on your phone where you can have like extra content for some compatible games running at the same time as the game. Bro, just put that shit in the game. Put it on my fucking TV. I hate having to look down at my phone for anything while I'm gaming. If it's a map or some shit, don't put it on my fucking phone. Put it on the fucking TV, please. Put it in the game. And then who knows, it wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo fucking charged for that too. So I'm really hoping that the Switch 2 doesn't sell well, because then maybe it might be like the Wii U, where Nintendo's gonna have to have their back against the wall and they're gonna cut prices and do stuff more favored towards the consumers. I know I'm ranting at this point, guys, but I don't understand how anyone can be hype about a console that's going to have their games selling for $80 to $90, especially when they just caught up to PlayStation and Xbox. Seriously, give me Resident Evil 6 or Dead Space 2 on the 360, and I promise you the graphics will look better than Mario Kart on the Switch 2. And this is coming from a guy who hates Resident Evil 6. I don't even really like the $70 price tag, but that would make more sense than the $80 to $90 price tag. Nintendo, you are years late catching up to the competitors, and then you have the audacity to increase the base price line for the games? And these games that I won't even technically own? Are you fucking high? If the fanboys can just pause being dick slapped for a moment and then realize, oh hey, we're kind of being slapped with a dick right now, maybe they would be backing off of this. But of course, Nintendo's gonna sell because, you know, they have a following and the followers are gonna listen. Trust me guys, I know. I'm actually afraid to make this video because I made a video talking about like what I dislike about Pokemon Scarlet, and it is seriously one of my most disliked videos to this day. Even though all my points to me were pretty fucking valid. Just like the choppiness and like, you know, the bad loading times, all that other shit. Like it was wild. You can basically not talk any negative shit about Nintendo without the little fanboys coming out the woodworks and just bashing on you. But bro, I don't even care. I am sick of this. I cannot support this. I'm telling you guys, I can't do it. The fanboys will just do mental gymnastics to avoid blaming Nintendo for the obvious fucking that they're receiving. Nintendo fanboys, if it wasn't Nintendo, would you still be supporting all of this? Probably not. I mean, shit, if PlayStation did this, you would be all like, see, this is why Nintendo is better. But no, since it's Nintendo, you guys are perfectly fine with this. And then guess what? Like I said, this is all gonna pass on to Sony and Microsoft. And I don't know about you guys, but I cannot afford to be buying games at that price. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can't either. We're on the same boat here, man. We're on the same team. We all don't agree with it. Except for maybe wherever the fanboys are hiding right now, or, you know, I don't know, the YouTubers, I don't fucking know, wherever they are. I just love gaming, man. Shit, my entire channel is based off of gaming. But remember, I'm not making money like all these other big time YouTubers are that could afford all this shit. This shit's coming all out of my own pocket. I can't be buying games at that price for new games just to keep up with you guys, or to keep up with the competition. I'm just honestly gonna wait for sales, which I kind of already do. Or hey, maybe it's time to finally tackle all of our backlogs, am I right? So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry about the long ass rant. I just don't see how anyone could be excited about this. I really don't. And like I said, this is coming from a guy who grew up with Nintendo. My first console was literally a Nintendo. I played the OG Mario Bros with my mom when I was a child. So it's not like I take pride in saying this. I was actually looking forward to the Switch 2. I was so hype. But seeing how greedy they are and just how much they obviously do not care about us, I don't know, man. I just don't want to see one of my favorite hobbies kind of turn into Pokemon cards. It's just not really fun to collect Pokemon cards anymore, and I'm afraid that this move is going to make it not fun to play video games anymore. Solely because, like I said, I'm going to have to spend almost $100 for a game when I have bills to pay. I can't be affording to buy all these new games and shit, you know? And I just don't want to see my hobbies get destroyed by first greedy ass scalpers and now greedy ass Nintendo, you know? So I hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you guys next time.